It's time for another radio break reaction. I'm Todd Stach from Beyond 615. At the time of this video, I've held nearly 1,400 coaching sessions where I've discovered universal truths that can be tailored to fit individual shows. Let's listen to Jess from Spirit FM in Virginia.
If you are an awkward person and you can own it, hey, I'm right there with you.
All right, Jess did not start this break all about herself. I'm awkward and I can own it. That's ignoring everyone who's listening to her. And she didn't assume that everybody listening is awkward. She said, if you are an awkward person, you could even say, if you or someone you know tends to be awkward, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's keep listening.
I am learning to embrace my awkwardness.
Okay, there's joy in her voice. She's laughing at herself. She's funneling down to only her perspective. This is the part of the break where she can just talk about herself. She's being a little self-deprecating here, and she's being self-evaluating. Both of those are very powerful tools to become endearing to those who are listening.
Just about every day. In my awkwardness, one of the things I struggle with is how to respond sometimes.
Okay, so now she's saying why she's awkward, and she's going to tell a story about a specific time when she was awkward.
I don't know what that's all about, but I was in the Panera drive-thru earlier this week, and the sweet lady working the drive-thru hands me my bagel, and she says, "I hope you enjoy your bagel today, ma'am." And I said, "Thanks. I hope you enjoy my bagel too."
Okay, so that's kind of embarrassing. Little life scene. Jess, I'm glad she put this on the radio. Like, this is show prep, right? And I'm sure people on the way to work, she's on the morning show, could smile, and if not only smile, but laugh with her. And that's the power of self-deprecation.
What?
You're hanging out with Jess on Good Morning Radio.
All right. And then she put the identifier at the end. And we've been talking about where to introduce her name, where to introduce the station, and been moving that around all kinds of places in the break. The beginning, a third of the way, halfway through, at the end, if you ask for a phone call or whatever, in three-fourths of the way through, just to see how it feels, see how it sounds, and just not to be predictable. So here's another quick break from Jess with being self-deprecating.
No one will humble you like a little kid.
Good. And a pause. That's the bring in line. And she didn't say your kids. No one will humble you like a little kid. That applies to grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, teachers, neighbor kids. It applies to a whole wide swath of people. Great job, Jess. And she paused there to let the bring in line sink in and just kind of soak in to this is what we're talking about.
If you know, you know. The other day, I had to run a quick errand, thought
All right, now she's funneling to herself, telling a story from her life, being very relatable.
I would just pop into the Food Lion right on Timberlake Road in Lynchburg.
We've been working with local stations, we as in me. I've been working with local stations to be as local as possible at times. Saying a grocery store name is not going to make your radio station win or go to number one. But when you can show proof that you live, eat, work, sleep, maybe go to church in that area, I think that sends a message to the listener that says, she's one of us. She's one of us. And there is a connection point there. And guess what? The big networks can't do that. So why aren't local radio stations talking about roads, landmarks, things like that, conversationally intertwined in their breaks when possible?
So I just threw my hair in like a little messy bun, thought, okay, you know what? I got to run right in, run right out.
Self-deprecation, here we go.
So I'm in there doing my shopping, minding my own business when I run into this little kid.
Joy in her voice and her personality comes out. She's just not telling a story that's got no personality. This is Jess's personality.
With her mom, and she looks right at me and says, what's wrong with your hair?
Mm.
I mean, what do you even say to that? And, her mom just looked so embarrassed. And she said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I said, it's okay. But this little girl would not stop. She said, your hair just looks so, so funny. So I eventually just walked off. But you know what? I got to admit, I felt so intimidated. And I could not believe I let somebody with a sippy cup make me feel self-conscious.
What a great exit. Funny, fun. The break started in one place, ended at another. It journeyed through. She had some self-deprecation, self-awareness, and was able to laugh at the situation. So again, self-deprecation, self-evaluation, self-examination are three powerful ways to endear yourself to the listener. When you tell stories that include those words and those meanings, it tells the listener, ah, they're just like me. Ah, I'm not alone. Ah, in this case, she's not a super Christian. She doesn't have it all together. And that is endearing. If you found this video helpful and want to see more, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're a radio personality, you can actually have your on-air break featured just by emailing me, Todd at beyond615.com.